will open up a file in your office, and therein you will keep all the originals of these documents. He can do that. You will create certified true copies of those documents, and you will serve those, or you will cause them to be served, or you will give them to me and I'll serve them on this party. Then I will come back with a certificate of service and give it to you. You will wait 10 days from the date of service in order to give the affected parties a chance to either accept the claim silently or send you a sworn and attested affidavit created upon their full commercial liability. And who's going to touch that? What government agent is going to step into that? They don't want to go there. If they don't do that, if within 10 days you receive a proper affidavit contesting the claims made, you will contact me, and then you will inform me of this contest. But if there is an absence of contest, then you will create and sign a default judgment. And then we got the notary to do that. And it's all within. I think what he liked about us, the reason we pulled him to this, is because he sees that what we're doing is actually very positive for the government, and he doesn't like what's happening either. I mean, he told us, I sure wish I could operate outside the box. This guy is so unhappy with the government, and there's a lot of people out there like that. So essentially all you're doing is you're holding that notary to be your witness, and all you are doing is extending an offer to discuss. You're expressing your understanding. You're expressing your intent. There's an implied offer to discuss. If they don't accept that, you lose. The notary is my witness. He's going to sign a default judgment under the authority that's been granted to him under Section 18. Then you can take this. And we brought these in court before. Someone told me they brought it in court. And when it was mentioned to the judge about Section 18, he went, oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. They know exactly. The notary is the joker in the deck. They have all the power in the world. When you're playing these games with the government, the way I look at it, it's like a chess game. Who here has played chess? Anyone? Okay. What is the very first move in a chess game? If you want to win, you are going to have to make this one first move every time, and if you don't make this move, I guarantee you lose. Anyone? This is not a rhetorical question. Now's the time, smart boy. What is the move? No. You put your pieces on the board. If you never put your pieces on the board, if you show up with a king and a pawn and all their pieces are on the board, which is what they want you to do in court, you're going to lose. If, however, you start saying, okay, here's my pieces, they start seeing that you know how the game is played, then it becomes more powerful. Then they start looking and, oh man, we don't want to play with this guy. It's going to get too difficult. Now here's a funny thing. You let them act first. They're the moving party. They put their pieces on the board. Okay, now it's my turn. I'm putting my queen dead center. You can't do that. You have to put your pieces back here. Says who? You put your pieces on the board where you want them. I get to put my pieces on the board where I want them. Then you place your pieces so they can't even move. Guess who won the game? What, you can't move? Hi, you lose. Remember to put your pieces on the board. If you aren't doing a proper notice of understanding and intent, if you're not claiming a right, you don't even have your queen on that board. You're going to get your butt handed to me. You're not going to win that game. Some of the strategies that I found for dealing with cops that seem to work. One, make sure you always recognize you are dealing with a human being. These are human beings that they don't know the law any more than you do, likely. They don't really. I found that people who benefit from any societal mechanism rarely wish to understand that mechanism, especially if understanding it limits their power over you. They will always interpret these words in a manner that maximizes their claim of authority over you. If, however, you remember they're human beings, you treat them with love, you treat them with the compassion that we are all worthy of, we are all due a certain amount of compassion. If they do have to arrest you and bring violence, they don't take you down, they don't beat you up, they don't cuff you really hard. They will treat you with the respect that you give them, especially if, before going in there and asking them these questions, you have filed documents. You've served a notice of understanding and intent, a claim of right, and most importantly, you have a fee schedule filed. The fee schedule, my fee schedule states that if I'm stopped by a cop for statutory compliance checks or anything like that, if they're respectful, I'm not going to activate my fee schedule. But otherwise, if they make demands upon me, I get paid $200 an hour, and I'm going to collect. I'll use my notary to collect, and they know I can achieve these things. If they arrest me, if they try to take me away, seize me, put cuffs on me, $2,000 an hour or a portion thereof. And my notary, I let him know about this. Yeah, I will help you do that. You can get a notary judgment that the sheriffs will respond to. I went and I asked a sheriff, I said, if I had a default judgment authorizing me to seize property and it was signed by a notary and not a judge, no, we would accept that. And they will go out and help you seize property. Some of the things that I do when I'm talking with a cop, first of all, I never give them, if they ask for my name, I say, well, legal or lawful, I want to know. And I don't have a legal one. You ask them, under what authority are you acting? If they try saying, I'm a cop, so what? Under what authority are you acting? If they try saying it's against the law, and I've had them do that before, oh, it's against the law. What law? The Controlled Drugs and Substance Act. That's an act and a statute, not a law. Are you aware gross negligence is equal to fraud? They hate that. These people have a duty to understand and to distinguish between statute and law. They've been dealing with us for so long with people who are essentially ignorant that we don't even distinguish between statute and law, so they assume that you are going to be there. They'll say, oh, you broke the statute, you broke a law, I want to give you a ticket. And then they'll say, I need to see your ID, and if you don't show me ID, I'm going to arrest you for obstruction of justice. I've had cops do this to me, SkyTrain cops. The fact is, though, until they see ID, they have absolutely no evidence of the existence of a person who is liable under the statute. So they're putting the cart before the horse. They're saying, I see a human being. The act says person must produce a proof of fare. You're a person. I'm giving you a ticket. Now you have to show me your ID so I can give you a ticket, because they've been told if you don't see ID, you can't give a ticket. They know this, but they're putting the cart before the horse. Ask them flat out, is this a transaction of a security interest? If he says, I don't know, then you say, well, clearly it can't be. You cannot engage in a transaction of a security interest in ignorance. So you say, okay, fine, so this isn't a transaction of a security interest. If it is, you need knowledge thereof. Since it's not a transaction of a security interest, you will not be generating any obligation upon me to pay or perform, so why am I talking to you? Have a good day. If they say, yes, it is a transaction of a security interest, you need my consent for that, and I do not consent to your transaction of a security interest. If they ask you for identification,